For quite some time, Mike Tyson has been planning a return to the ring after taking on Roy Jones Jr. in 2020. Despite various names being floated, including Evander Holyfield, he has yet to find another opponent. Tyson might now meet Jake Paul in Las Vegas. Tyson has refrained from attacking YouTuber twins Jake and Logan Paul since they first entered the boxing arena, and now he could be rewarded with a mega money fight against a younger brother. According to The Sun, both men's agents are planning a fight in Las Vegas at the end of 2022. As more influencers and players from other sports have entered the boxing arena, many boxers, promoters, and fight fans have expressed skepticism about the whole enterprise. Some have been critical of Jake Paul, yet the YouTuber has a great fan in boxing legend Iron Mike Tyson. The boxing abilities of Jake and Logan Paul have been lauded by the 55-year-old, who believes they are only helping the sport by introducing new eyes to it. Despite being a vocal supporter of both social media stars, Tyson has previously indicated that he would not fight either of them. There are reports though that he and Jake Paul are plotting a fight in 2022. Those reports first surfaced on January 17, when it was reported that a verbal agreement had been made for a fight in Las Vegas in 2022, which the promoters believe to be worth around $50 million. Tyson, on the other hand, has played off the reports. "This is new to me," the former heavyweight champion tweeted a few hours after the initial news. "I saw Jake in some baths, but he didn't say anything." While Tyson's statement may be used to generate some excitement, it has a different tone than when he expected to put the gloves back on the last time he was speculated to do so. When the boxing icon was reported to have agreed to a battle with Logan Paul in October, he remarked that anything is possible and explained how charity would benefit. It will take time to determine whether these latest fight charges are true, but they are not off to a good start. According to a source close to Tyson, Mike and Jake have agreed to participate in an exhibition match in Las Vegas. A verbal agreement has been reached to get it on, but like with all sorts of sports business, it's now all about contracts and money shared. Mike is asking for a specific amount in order to enter the ring with a profit-sharing guarantee. Jake definitely has that on his mind, but he's eager to show the world that going into the ring with a man once dubbed the baddest man on the planet propels his boxing career to new heights. This fight brings together old-school boxing fans and new generation boxing enthusiasts. According to the source, the two parties were considering a PPV between them for £36 million. According to sources, Paul's second battle with Woodley, in which he knocked him out, did not sell as well as All Elite Wrestling Full Gear show. Tyson, who is 30 years older than his likely opponent, will come out of retirement in November 2020 for an exhibition fight versus Roy Jones Jr., with the two legends drawing for the contest. The former two-division world heavyweight champion was expected to return to the ring, and he had been linked to a fight with Jake's older brother Logan Paul, who fought Floyd Mayweather last year, but nothing had come to fruition until today's news. Paul, who turned 25 on Monday, has continued to develop in his boxing career and remains undefeated inside the ring. The American star finished 2021 with a stunning 6-round KO victory over former UFC fighter Ben Askren and former NBA star Nate Robinson. Like and subscribe to the channel and comment done to get a free shout out. Let's discuss Jake Paul's most recent fight. Overall, it wasn't a very exciting fight. There were a number of clinches, sloppy punches, and a takedown which disappointed the mostly younger audience who expected a knockout. Going into the 6th round, the bout might have gone either way. Paul and Woodley made their way to the centre of the ring. That's when Woodley let go of his left arm, allowing Paul to take advantage of the situation. Woodley was knocked out cold after the 24-year-old barely shifted his hips and unleashed a detonating right punch. Paul praised Woodley for the two battles and referred to him as a legend. The problem child, on the other hand, soon moved his emphasis to two high-profile UFC fighters in attendance, saying he'd fight anyone at any time. Paul's game has obvious flaws, and his fight-to-fight improvement appears to be slowing. He also has a lot of issues with his cardiovascular system. When he knocks someone out, he does so in spectacular fashion. Nate Robinson can vouch for this. Take for example Ben Askren. It's now Tyron Woodley's turn. When you combine that with public speaking, you have a recipe for drawing attention even when others claim not to care. How can we forget Mike Tyson's exhibition battle against Roy Jones Jr.? It was difficult to predict what would happen in the ring between boxing legends Mike Tyson and Roy Jones Jr. With a combined age of 105 and confusion regarding the rules prior to the event, an already unexpected situation felt even more so. However, once inside the ring, the fighters gave it their best for 8 2-minute rounds, finishing it in a split draw on the WBC assigned judges' scorecards. The fight had a gritty feel to it, with neither man wanting to commit to a huge number of strikes. Neither boxer appeared to be able to land more than 2 punches at a time before falling into the clinch, which referee Jay Corona was forced to break up. Jones displayed flashes of his past style with no-look jabs and showboating, whilst Tyson occasionally landed his trademark left hook from a distance. In the early rounds, Tyson seemed to pick up the points, landing cleaner blows and muscling Jones in the closing stages. Jones appeared to be the more exhausted man in the corner between rounds, but he persisted in his efforts to end the fight, increasing his volume in the later rounds. Tyson continues to fight professionally despite the fact that he is no longer a professional fighter. Jones's late labour enabled him to accumulate enough late rounds to win on one scorecard and tie on the other. After Tyson won the third scorecard, the fight ended in a rather unsatisfactory draw. What are the possibilities of this fight taking place? Jake Paul was reportedly hoping for a rematch with former world champion Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. in his upcoming fight. A few days ago, he hinted at a prospective shift to the MMA community. Given all of these favourable circumstances, the 25-year-old is unlikely to face Mike Tyson anytime soon. A hefty payout, on the other hand, has the potential to change everything. On the DAZN boxing show, Barak Bess, Akin AK Reyes and Paul's trainer, Julian Love, reviewed the fight's prospects. Tyson, according to Bess, will be interested. He's been on record saying he'd relish that battle. Jake or Logan, it'd be a wonderful money fight. Boxers are sometimes the last to discover something. In this case, I feel that is correct. If this is true and someone protests, Jake, you're 24 years old and you're fighting a 55-year-old man, I want to witness you fight this 55-year-old man. This was the baddest man on earth, and he still looks eerily menacing in that ring. Even if Jake loses to Tyson, I have to give him credit. Nobody wants to face a 55-year-old Mike Tyson, so we've been urging Jake Paul to fight a boxer. This is a good matchup in my opinion. It would draw more attention than Tommy Fury. Mike, his name transcended sport. However, the former UFC middleweight champion Michael Bisping does not believe the Nevada State Athletic Commission will sanction the event. There's a good chance the Paul fight with Mike Tyson won't get a license either, Bisping said on his YouTube channel. I believe Mike Tyson fought Roy Jones Jr. in Florida because they were unable to obtain a license in Las Vegas when he returned. Las Vegas is known as the fight capital of the world, and the Nevada State Athletic Commission is one of the hardest to obtain a license from. Do you believe it will happen? Mike Tyson believes the answer is no. I'd want to see Paul fight Tommy Fury, who has a similar size, age and experience. Despite the fact that Paul and Tyson recently spent time together over the holidays, the baddest man on the planet has denied any talk of a verbal agreement. I'd like to see it. I'd like to question the fans. If this bout were to take place, would that be sufficient, or is Tyson too old? Although we do not believe the battle will take place anytime soon due to the lack of a match between those two boxers, but we'd like to hear your thoughts on the battle and whether you'd like to see Mike Tyson take on the problem child. That's all we've got time for today. Thank you for taking the time to watch the video. If you enjoyed it, please share it with your friends and subscribe to our channel in the future to see more great videos like this. Until next time, everyone.